Hello everyone, and welcome to Blue Spoon Veggie and the final day of my 12 days of Christmas. Thank you if you've been watching the series, and I do hope you've enjoyed it. Today I'm making gingerbread, but the cakey version rather than gingerbread biscuits, although I have made plenty of those too, perhaps too many. This cake is very nostalgic for me because I made it with my mum when I was growing up. Let me know in the comments which traditions you follow each year. This cake gets better as it ages, a nice thought, and will last more than a week, probably as a result of the large amount of sweetness that's packed in. I don't have my own recipe for this anymore, but I use the recipe in this Leith's Cookery Bible, a useful book anyway, and it's very similar to the one we used to make, full of warmth and comfort. There's an old-fashioned quality to this whole process, heating milk to blood temperature, the tradition of cooking with spices at Christmas, and the gentle approach of melting butter, brown sugar and treacle together. Dark syrupy treacle is best weighed straight into a pan, I find, and I love this bottled version. In go the soft dark brown sugar and the butter, ready to be melted into a caramelly blend. I'll leave that to cool while I mix up some dry ingredients. Stirring the spices into the flour, typically for me I'm deviating a little from the recipe by adding cardamom to the cinnamon and ginger. I also use double the ginger to ramp up the warming flavours. With a little more cooling time needed for the sugary pan, I can butter and line the tin too. They're good enough, and the treacly mixture is cool enough to add to the spiced flour now. Just one beaten egg goes in too, and I'll stir everything together. As I'm sure you can imagine, this is aroma heaven, filled with scents of times past. Time for that blood-warm milk now, but first it's mixed with some bicarbonate of soda, which adds lightness to the loaf. It's still quite a dense cake, but never heavy enough to prevent anyone polishing off a generous slice, I've found. The soda makes the milk slightly creamy, and that frothiness can be stirred in gently now. In this quiet alone time in the kitchen, I can feel the connection with generations of cooks who've all enjoyed these Christmassy scents and all stirred this spiced milky mixture so carefully. Warm milk incorporated, I can stir a little more enthusiastically now, leaving no pockets of flour. All too soon the mixture is smooth, and the baking tin can be filled and the house scented with sweetness and spice as it bakes. A quick test with a skewer and the loaf is ready. We're not really ready for eating yet, as it's best left for a couple of days to let those spiced crumbs firm up a little. Wrap in foil, a present for the days to come, and well worth waiting for. After a patient wait, you can finally slice the soft loaf. Add a generous blanket of butter, the more the better. Soft, sweet, gingery crumbs brighten a dark December afternoon. Also delicious served with custard for even more old-fashioned, comforting vibes. Thanks for watching. I wish you your perfect Christmas. Whatever you want it to be, I hope that happens for you. And goodbye for this year.